Good morning. How is everybody? It's Monday, isn't it? It's so Monday. I'm going to wait for some people to join. We got some scragglers today. Is that a word? Scragglers? I don't know if that's a word or not. It may just be a southern term. Scraggler? No. What's the word? What are you supposed to say? Scradlers? No. Good morning, Julie and Christy and Rita Lynn, Jackie, Brenda, Daphne, stragglers. I've got a southern talk. Good morning, Kayla and Karen, Tammy, Jane. Oh, Marcy and Linda, Daphne. Lauren and Melanie, Mary, Marcy. It's going so fast. Rhonda, Joseph, Diana, Laura. Okay. I'm going to take off my glasses, and you know what that means. It means I can't see. But your Aunt Judy, I have been, let's see. I'll put this. I never know how to say it. I stay on the struggle bus, okay? But I don't stay on the struggle bus usually long. I'm usually able to get my mind back intact quickly, but like my mind always goes back to struggle bus, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's like a constant. It's just constant, you know. But the good thing about me today versus me years ago is I would stay on the struggle bus and stay on the struggle bus forever, like, and couldn't get off the struggle bus. And now it's like I get up sometimes, I get on the bus, I start riding for a little bit, and I'm like, oh dang, I'm on the wrong bus. I need to get off this bus and go get on another bus because I done got out of the bed on the wrong side. So I need to get back in the bed, roll over, and get up on the other side. And this morning I got on the wrong bus again. I got on the wrong bus. I'm gonna let some people join before I get started. And what do you know what I'm talking about? Y'all get up on the wrong, get up, go to school, get on the wrong bus. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, oh, anyway, let's see. Good morning, Judy. Judy, did you get my video? Hang on, let's see if you read it. I haven't looked. Hang on. Oh, you did. I didn't see you said awesome. The kids loved the chairs yesterday. Yeah, when you get on the wrong bus. I got up on actually I have got on the wrong bus every day for the past couple of weeks. But I'll stay on the bus. I just get on the bus. And it's so frustrating because you feel so beat up and going, God, Judy, why are you getting on the wrong bus? Like, there's two buses sitting right here. You get on the wrong bus every single time. You know, this bus on the left is the good bus, and this bus on the right is the bad bus. So why do you walk into the bad bus every single day? Like, what is the deal? Like, why do you do that? And I'm just going to tell you what I'm struggling with, because you know what? When we come here to meet in the mornings, it is about honesty. And because I feel like when I'm honest, maybe you guys can relate, and maybe me telling you my struggles will help you with yours. But the whole eating disorder is bad. Like, it is kicked in high gear right now. And it's not that I'm starving myself. I told you guys that I haven't done that since 2013. Like, previous, if you're just joining me, let me just bring you up to date. I do have a lot of new followers, but in the past, I was on this eating disorder binge. And what I would do is I would overeat and like gorge myself, and I'd gain to, let's say, 160 pounds, which is big for me. And then I'd get on the wrong bus because here I was going up this ramp, and maybe I should go down this ramp. Yeah, I was going down this ramp, and I would just gorge myself, like get up in the middle of the night to eat ice cream. Like it was bad. It was like totally out of control. And then I would get where I was really, really depressed because none of my clothes fit. Like I would get like no one likes me because I associated the way I look with the way people like me, because my mom taught me that. I'm not gonna, like, she did. She would go, Judy, people, and she did it because my mom was overweight her whole life. And she always told me, Judy, people don't like fat people. And let me tell you something. You do get judged if you're overweight. You do. Like when you go into an interview, like that, and you are sitting there in front of somebody with appearance, it does matter. They say it doesn't, but it does, in my opinion. But I would get where I would just scorch myself, gain weight, and then I would just get in the funk. And I would stay in the funk because I couldn't get myself in gear to eat right. And so I would have to do drastic measures to trigger my brain to starve myself so that I got skinny. I know this makes no sense, okay? But I'm being honest. So I would get that point, and I would do stupid crap to get myself triggered into starving myself to get skinny. And this cycle went on for years. And see, I could live in the closet with my eating disorder because I wasn't obese and I wasn't anorexic. Like you couldn't visually look at me and go, she's got an eating disorder, or she's obese, or she is like bone skinny. Like no one could see that. And what would happen is, because I lived in the closet with this, I could continue to do it because no one knew I needed help. Like sometimes when you're in situations where you struggle, you can visually see it. And so with mine, you couldn't until I had been in let's see, it was 2013. Now, let me just say this. The people that lived with me and the people that were around me knew that I talked about being skinny all the time. And I talked about my weight, and they knew that I fought depression and all that stuff. So you could see that. They just didn't know what it was about per se. And so what would happen is my son, for example, y'all, and I've said this before, but my son was in first grade. And you know how like it's Mother's Day, and they when they're in school, they do a Mother's Day gift, like they make them make something. And so my son made this book about what he liked about his mother. And it was like sweet stuff. And then it said, what would you tell your mother to make her happy? Do you know what my son said? Tell her she's skinny. Oh yeah, that was a slap in the face. I was like, so people that live with me, my kids, my husband and stuff like that, it was very known that I struggled with that. And my 6-year-old kid is telling in a book that all I have to do is tell my mom she's skinny and she's happy. Isn't that sad? So like I struggled with this my whole entire life. And then in 2013, I had gone to the doctor because I was fighting depression so bad in 2013. It was just terrible. And my doctor had put me on a new medication. And so when he put me on this new medication, my doctor didn't even know I had an eating disorder. That's how well I hid it. Okay. And I didn't talk about it. And so I had gotten on this new medication, and anytime there was a change in my life, like change of job, moving, like if I moved or something like that, any kind of change in my life triggered me to starve myself. I don't know why. Okay, but it did. And so I got on this new medication and I was like, and me and my kids had just been in a serious car accident. It was terrible. Like my son and I were in the hospital. My son was in a body cast. It was terrible accident. I hit a person going head on at about 60 miles an hour. It's a wonder that we're alive. And I had I'd gone to the doctor that morning and she changed my medication because I was struggling with depression. On the way home from the doctor's office, my kids and I were in the car, and that's when we had the accident. So I started the new medication right after the accident. Well, it triggered me to starve myself. So I was starving myself because I was depressed because I had hurt my son in a car accident, right? And so what ended up happening is I did not know that the medication that I was on, you have to eat with. You know, sometimes on the bottle it says like an antibiotic, you must eat with food, stuff like that. Well, I ignore all that, okay? Ignored all that and began to starve myself. Then what ended up happening is my blood got toxic because I wasn't fueling my body with food and I was taking in that medication. I didn't know this was happening. And I remember picking up my phone one day and I couldn't figure out how to text. And I was like, that's weird. I don't know how to text. And like it started, like that's when my blood started getting toxic. And I remember my brother calling me on the phone and said, Judy, why are you slurring your words? And I'm like, I'm not. And he said, Judy, are you taking pain medicine from your car accident? And I said, no. And so like all these little things started happening. And to make a long story short, it got to the point where I couldn't walk, y'all. I could not. My legs were solid black and I could not walk. And I had probably roughly 15 seizures before they could figure out what was wrong with me. Because my husband would call the ER. I'd have a seizure. I would go to the ER. They couldn't figure out what they thought it was from my car accident. They thought I had something wrong with my brain from the car accident. And they were sending me to a neurologist and they would do CAT scans and MRIs and no one could figure out what was wrong. They were like, she's not had a stroke. Like there's no brain bleed. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And the problem was I was starving myself and I was going toxic and no one knew it because I never told them. But in my defense, I didn't know that was happening because I'd always starved myself and I didn't know what was going on. And finally, I can remember my husband coming to me and going, Judy, I don't know what's wrong. And all I could get out of my mouth was, call my doctor. So he called my psychiatrist and said, something's wrong and I need help. So they got me to the ER. My doctor met me there. And immediately she realized that my blood was toxic. And so I had to go on dialysis. I was in the ER, knocked out on dialysis. And that's where I hit rock bottom and went, okay, I need to fix this. And so when the doctor, I didn't know it still at the time what had happened. And so when I woke up, my doctor came in there and she said, did you try to kill yourself? And I was like, no. And she's like, did you take too much medication? I'm like, no. And so we got to talking and I began to tell her that I was starving myself. And she was like, I had been to the doctor since 2006. Okay. It is 2013. She knows me very well and never knew I had an eating disorder. That's how much I hid it. People with have certain types of addiction, when you can't see it, they can live in the closet with it and you never know it. So long story short, we figured out that I had an eating disorder and that's what was causing it. And I began to work in therapy. I went to an eating disorder clinic and began to learn how to do it. And today is 2024 and I still deal with it. Now, there's a difference today than back then because today I'm strong enough to recognize it and fix it. But I have been on the struggle bus. I have been getting on the wrong bus for a while. And this weekend, I had to go to a wedding. The girl that works for me was getting married, and I go into the closet to put on a dress. It doesn't fit. Here I go in left field. Then I go to get another dress because I don't ever wear dresses, right? I don't ever wear dresses. I get my second dress out. It doesn't fit. And I'm like, this is bad. Like, this is bad. So then I go get a third dress. It doesn't fit. And I'm like, what? I don't even have a dress to wear to. So I am going completely in left field, like total left field, going, oh my gosh, I am fat as crap. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I can't go to this wedding. I'm having anxiety like you cannot even imagine over not being able. Finally, I found a dress that fit me. And I go to the wedding, and it is all I can do not to cry. I am in total left field, like totally on the wrong bus, like just beating myself up, just terrible. And I'm sitting down at the wedding and I'm hating life because I'm feeling fat. I feel ugly. I feel like everyone's staring at me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, these people know who I am, because there are people that recognize me. And I'm like, people know who I am. And here I am. I'm just like fat as crap. Like I'm going in, like I'm getting on the wrong bus and I'm closing the door and locking it at this point. Okay. Cause I am in total left field. And after the wedding, I go to the reception and I sit down, and my anxiety is so bad that I'm like, I can't stay here. What am I going to do? Like, I can't even stay at this wedding. I feel claustrophobic. I feel like everyone is looking at me. Like, and it's not like that's not reality. No one's looking at me. No one sit there and judging me for the way I look. But I felt as though I was in this room and there were people all around me going, she is so fat. Have you seen how much weight she's gained? That's what I was thinking in my head. So anxiety is just pouring on me. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. And I was like, but if I leave, or is anybody going to notice that I'm leaving? I'm leaving a wedding. This is an important wedding. I should be here. And I couldn't do it. And I got up and I'm like, I'm coaching myself. If I can just walk as fast as I can to my Jeep, no one will notice. Like everybody's eye is on the bride. I just have got to leave. I didn't even get to speak to the bride because my anxiety was kicked in that high. So I had to get in the Jeep and leave, and I'm just squalling the whole way home. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, Judy. This is ridiculous. What the crap is wrong with you? And so I get home and I pop off at Shane. I have a complete attitude. Like, because what do we do when we go on the wrong bus? We hurt the people that we love because we know they're going to love us no matter what. So we can pop off at them and they won't they won't leave. Right. So I'm popping off at Shane. He's like, what the heck is wrong with you? And I never told him what was wrong with me until we sat down to eat. And I was like, I can't eat supper. Like, I just can't eat supper. And the reason I couldn't eat supper is because I ate 7 cookies before I went to the wedding. So see how it was getting out of control? I'm just fat. I might as well eat, and it's just like this. And I'm like, okay, Judy, you are on a tailspin. You are on a total tailspin. And me and Shane kind of laughed about it for a little bit because I told him I ate 7 cookies. And he was like, well, fatty, why are you eating 7 cookies? But when he says stuff like that, it makes me laugh. Like, that's how we kid with each other. And so I went to bed last night and I was like, what am I going to do about this? Like, it's bad. So what I'm going to do today is, first of all, I have a field trip. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I've got a field trip. So I've got to get it together. There's kids that need me, right? So I got to get it together. And, let me plug in my curling iron. Look, this is so cute. This is how you turn it on. So anyway, I'm like, okay, Judy, you got to get it together. You have a field trip today. You have got to be on your best behavior. But today I'm going to call my counselor that I talk to regularly and go, okay, we need 2 appointments today because I am gotten on the wrong bus today. And, the thing that happens when there's something that you struggle with, it seems like when you really start trying to fight it, it gets worse. You know what I'm talking about? It's like if you're like, okay, like example, okay, today I'm gonna eat right. Or you'll go, okay, I ate 7 cookies last night, so I can't eat today. I can't because I've totally ate and went into left field yesterday eating. So today I've got to just not eat. No, Judy, you can't do that. So I correct that problem right off the bat. I'm like, okay, you were a train wreck yesterday. Today's a new day. We're not starving yourself. We're not going in total left field, Judy. We're going to stay balanced. And so I have to just kind of like go, okay, what are you going to do to take care of yourself today? What are you going to do? And so I don't know the answer to that yet. I don't. Let me put my watch on. I don't know. But I know that I can't go to where I used to be and starve myself. Like I know I can't do that because that's not healthy. But I don't know. And there's times when, you just need a little help to get you back on the right bus. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to call her after this appointment. And after this field trip, I'm going to call her and just say, look, wait, Judy's in left field. And so, I see this time, and this is another thing that happened was a trigger. Triggers happen when you're trying to fight something, you get triggered often because this is your struggle. This is what I struggle with. So I got triggered because a memory came up on my phone. And the memory was me, I think it was 3 years ago. And I was standing with a bikini on, weighing 130 pounds, looking like a rock star. Okay? Look like a rock star. And I'm like, oh, because right now I weigh like 150 something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what I looked like 3 years ago. I weighed 130 pounds and I looked like I just walked out of the gym. I mean, because I had muscle tone. I looked great because I was working out. And then I'm like, and look at me, I can't even fit in my dress this year. And I'm like, Judy, you're back on the roller coaster. Here you go. Here you go, Judy. What are you going to do? Like, you can't do this. You've got to get it together. And sometimes it's hard to figure out how to get back started. Like, I'm like, I can't get in the wind of like counting points. And like, when you're struggling like this and your mind's like this, you want to go to a quick fix, right? You do. You want to go to a quick fix like, oh, I heard about these diabetic shots. I can go get those diabetic shots and I can drop 20 pounds like that because I've seen Susie over here do it and she looks great. And you go to a quick fix. I'm just going to do it myself. I can do this. And you find yourself just going like this because you're doing the quick fix. It ain't a quick fix, y'all. It ain't quick. Whatever you're struggling with, it's not a quick fix. As soon as you get yourself on the wrong bus, you got to stop yourself and get it. But I can't figure it all out right now, and I don't have the answers. I wish I could tell you what to do, but I am on the struggle bus, and I can't figure out how to get off the bus and get on the right bus. So when that happens, I have to slow down and go, okay, you talk about this balance. You are all out of balance, Judy. You're all like you are. Isn't this pretty though? I'm all out of balance. And so I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out. But I wanted to be honest with y'all because there may be something you're out of balance with and you can't figure out how to get back on the right bus. Guess what? Your Aunt Judy can't either. We're all in this together. So grab your protein shake. Drink up and let's talk about this. Okay, while I get ready. All right. Oh, well, let me stop for just a second. There's something new about me, and I want to see. I feel like Diane's the only one that's going to catch it. Just saying. I don't know. Tammy might catch it, but there's something new about me, and I want to know if you can figure it out. I'm not going to tell you. But Just look at me everywhere. Look at me everywhere. See, I can't tell if you get it right. I am cracking up, Laura. Laura, you're right. Okay, so let me just tell you this. So I have hooded eyes. If you don't know what hooded eyes are, I have this new. If you're a hairstylist, I want to know how this works. But this is that heat styling spray that's supposed to not damage your hair. I thought I'd use it. I went, because I told you I've been on the struggle bus. I'm like, okay, well, Judy, let's go do some things that you wouldn't normally do. I've never had eyelashes a day in my life. Like, I would never go do that. That's something it's not me. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I have hooded eyes, and I look like a kindergartner putting on my mascara. Y'all know this. You know how this works. I get mascara all over my face because my eyes are, as I age, it's like they're getting worse and worse and worse. And I went and talked to the eye doctor. Y'all know I'm blind in one eye, so I'm like a phobe when it comes to anything to do with my eye. And he talked about doing surgery, and I'm like, oh no, you're not touching my eyes. You are not touching my eyes. And he was like, Judy, it's safe, but no, we'll try something else first. So a friend of mine was like, why don't you get some lashes? I said, those are the ugliest things I have ever seen in my life. It looks like you're trying to look like you're in Hollywood, and I don't like them. She goes, Judy, you don't have to get the real thick ones. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. So I called this little place here in Coleman, and there's this girl that they're kind of expensive. I was like, ew. But there's this girl that's kind of in the learning stages. So because she's in the learning stages, it's like half price. So I decided to try it. And I walked into the door and I'm like, look, chickie mama, do not make me look like I'm trying to go to like the red runway or something. Like, I do not want ridiculous looking eyelashes. Do not do that to me, because I will walk out of here. So she said, it's called the classic look, Judy. I'm going to do the class. I said, well, just don't make them big, thick, and curly. Because this, honey, this thing right here is awesome. Look how much it's curly. I used this yesterday, but it's big difference. And I'm changing the subject. Bear with me. But when I went, let me get on that subject in a minute. So let me talk about my eyelashes. I'm sorry, I'm hopping all over the place. So anyway, she did it, and I was like, okay, they're not like too bad, because I don't like them, like curly. But I did it, and it's awesome because I don't have to wear mascara. And because I'm a redhead, I have blonde eyelashes. So it gives me a little bit of look. I don't know if I'll keep them. I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth the money to me. Like, I don't love them that much that I don't even know how much it costs for a refill. I think it's like $30. But I don't love them so much that I'll pay $60 a month for them. Like, that's not, I just thought I would try it. I'm trying to help myself a little bit and make myself feel better than I feel. I'm beating myself up. So I was like, look how beautiful. Curling irons do make a difference, just to let you know. But I probably won't keep it up. I don't know. It's not something that I love. It's kind of like me. I'm not a person to go get my nails done. I am not doing that. Like, that's not me. If I have an extra $100 to spend, it ain't gonna be on my nails, and it ain't gonna be on my eyelashes. It's gonna be on Botox or something like that. Or new overalls, something like that. Okay, let's talk about my curling iron. All right. Y'all know by watching, my pages are growing left and right. Okay. And they're growing fast. And so let's just be a new follower for 1 minute. Okay. So you come and visit my page. Let's say you come and visit my page, and the first video that you watch of mine is me crying over my preaching stick. I don't say bad words right, but I look batshit crazy crying over a colored iron. And for someone that does not know who their Aunt Judy is, and you watch that video for the first time, I look like a straight up psycho. Okay. Straight up like psycho. And I didn't think about that when I made the video. I thought all I could think about, I don't think about new followers. Okay. I don't. I think about my current followers. Okay. So when I made the video, it was like I started getting all these, listen, girl, I know you're not just girls. I got emails, I got text messages like telling me that I was a psycho, and I've had to laugh because I was like, Judy, can you imagine what people think of you like when they watch that video for the first time and you're like waving by to your preaching stick, which they don't know what a preaching stick is, right? They know a curling iron. And I'm like, they don't know who you are. So I've had to be very gentle with the people that don't know me because I look crazy, y'all. I mean, if you don't know, I mean, what does a farm girl have why is a farm girl getting ready in the morning talking about a curling iron being a preaching stick, and she's waving goodbye in Ulta at her curling iron crying over it? Can you imagine? Can you just imagine for 2 seconds for those people that don't know who their Aunt Judy is? I look like a psychomaniac. So I'm like, okay, how do I respond to this? But if you remember in the video, I put in writing as I was doing this, watch my lives to understand, or something like that. I can't remember the wording I used, but I said something like that. So they would catch on that there's a joke behind this. I'm like, dude, do you really think I'm crying over a curling iron? Let's just think about this for just a minute. Because one lady was like, I cannot believe that you're so ridiculous that you would cry over a curling iron. I'm like, yeah, it's really stupid, isn't it? It's really stupid. And I just said to her, I'm like, if you'll tune in live in the mornings, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So if you are just joining me and you watch that video and you think I'm batshit crazy, first of all, I am. I do have a sense of humor, and I'm silly, and I like to have fun. And y'all, look at this. This curling iron is a bomb. Okay, so anyway, if you're just joining me and you don't know who I am, I get ready in the mornings. I don't really know why it started. It just started because it's the only time I have time to go live. You know, a lot of farm pages, they're not open to the public. Like, I don't even know one. I have not seen one farm that does what I do that is a creator. Most people that are creators basically live behind the scenes. They're not open to the public. They're not, they don't do what I do. So like they have time to go live at, I don't know, 12 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I don't have time. Like I said this morning, I have a field trip coming at 10 o'clock. So that's why I'm getting ready, because I don't have time to go live and get ready and have people pulling in the driveway all the same time. So it's been easier for me to go live when I'm getting ready in the mornings. Plus, you know how like when you're watching someone, if you're ADHD, you get me, but like you want to watch, like you don't want me to sit here. Hey, I'm Judy. Well, today, like I want to see action. Like I want to see her doing something. So like when I go live, you can actually watch me and go, why is she doing that with her makeup? Like you can actually see something. So it's kind of like, and I tell you not to follow me for makeup tips because I'm not this makeup guru. I don't have hair tips to give you. Probably everything that I do is probably against all the rules. And that's okay. That's okay. But I get ready basically because it's the only time I have time to do it. And a lot of people go, I want to see Shane live with you. Y'all, okay, listen to me. Shane works a full time job. Shane leaves this house at 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't get home till after 5 o'clock. He's tired. He's trying to cut wood or do something around the farm. The last thing he wants to do is sit down and do a live video because he's got crap to do. That's his talking. Judy, I do not have time to go live. I have got wood to cut. We've got things to do. That's Shane. So, like, it's usually, I know people like to see us together, but we're so busy, it is not even funny. And also Shane basically works 7 days a week. Sometimes people come here and they see all Shane's toys and they're thinking Shane has a lot of toys, okay? And they're like, I don't know, maybe we look like we've been handed a lot of stuff. No, we work 7 days a week. Everything that we have is because we have worked our to get it. Okay. Nothing has been, we didn't have rich parents to leave us land. We didn't have rich parents to like land to inherit. No, Shane and I have worked our tails off to get to where we are today. And I know probably most of you are the same way. You've worked all your life and you don't have, my parents were never loaded. Oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, I don't know what kind of this is. It says TR. I don't know. So today, I need to tell you this too. So I'm in the process of doing a video that y'all are going to be probably a little shocked over because I've never said any of this out loud. So be looking for a new video that's coming out. Look at that. This is worth it, just to let you know. I didn't think curling irons make a difference, but they do. I don't know what's so great about this thing. I know it's ceramic. But you know me, I bought it because it was cute. I bought it because I like to turn it on down here. I figured I wouldn't hit the off button. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see. So this week, be looking for my video because I'm talking about something new. But this week, I received a phone call about an orphan needing their Aunt Judy. And it's been very emotional to me because I was like, I feel a lot of pressure because, isn't that gorgeous? I feel a lot of pressure because I thought, what am I going to, like, what does she need? Like, what am I going to say to her? And they were like, Judy, we just need you to be yourself. Like, she needs a positive influence. But basically, this girl, her parents were addicts her whole life. And she ended up, she's a teenager, and she ended up being an addict herself. And I'm fixing to give this little girl my all. I don't know what I'm going to, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if she's going to be receptacle to listen to me because I talk about my testimony because I'm no different than anybody else that struggles with other things. Like in the beginning of this message, I tell you guys, when I tell you I'm struggling right now, I am on the struggle bus. It is terrible right now. And I want people to know that they're not alone. You know, no, I don't know what it feels like to be an orphan. I don't know what it feels like to have my dad when I was young was on drugs, but I don't remember it. I remember my dad being an alcoholic, but my dad wasn't an abusive alcoholic. Like I just knew my dad drank. You know, he drank every single night. He drank Old Forester. That's what my dad drank. But my dad wasn't mean. I never knew it was really a problem until I got older because it was just understood that my dad just had to drink to go to bed. Like that's just what he did. And my dad owned his own business and would take, I don't know this. I've just heard, but my dad had bottles of alcohol in his drawer at work because he owned his own business, so he could drink. But he was never, I don't know, it was just never a problem. So, like, you know, he just kept to himself. It's kind of like me with my eating disorder. I lived in the closet with it and no one ever knew about it. And it wasn't a problem because I wasn't too skinny and I wasn't too fat. So like it wasn't a problem until I starved myself. And it's the same thing with my dad it wasn't really, it was a problem, but it wasn't a problem because he just kept it to himself. It wasn't like he was out driving drunk and he wasn't abusive and he wasn't ugly. My dad just drank and went to sleep. So like he lived in the closet with his addiction, because it was never like, it wasn't like he was out getting arrested and drinking and like all that stuff, like it wasn't a problem. But sometimes you have an addiction that's in the closet that people can't see, but it's driving you crazy within your head and you can't talk about it because you don't know how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And that you don't want to live a life like that. Like that's not a life to live. Like anytime, and this is just your Aunt Judy's opinion. Okay. So do not take this wrong. Did you hear me? Do not take this wrong. But if there's anything that you're totally dependent on, and I'm talking about I'm not talking about blood pressure medicine. I'm talking about if there's anything that you're dependent on, there's the same thing you do every night. Like you need something to go to sleep, or you are sitting here beating yourself up constantly getting on the wrong bus because you're worried about the way you look with being overweight, or let's just say that you find yourself not being able to get it together and you need to lose weight for it because you're diabetic or high blood pressure and you can't seem to get it together. That is when you need to stop yourself and get help. You need to listen to your Aunt Judy. Okay? Because the last thing you want to do is live your life with that burden. And the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. It's hard. It's hard to admit that you have a problem for anybody. Like it's easy for us to talk about our daughter is an addict. Our son has been in jail 100 times, or it's easy, or my brother this, or what. It's easy to talk about other people, but what about you? That's what you need to come to grips with. You. What do you struggle with? Let's forget everybody else. Let's talk about you, because you can't fix your son, your grandfather, your mother, your daddy. You can only fix you. And sometimes we're so codependent of whatever we're addicted to, like my eating disorder, that y'all know it don't normally curl like that. You that have been following me for a while, you know that this is a good curler. You don't, it's hard to let go of something that controls you because you think that you need, I need to be skinny because I want people to like me. Wait, that don't even make sense. Or I need alcohol because it relaxes me. It makes me feel good. That doesn't make sense either. You see what I'm saying? And I can remember with my dad is where I told you it was never a problem, but my dad could never come to my house after 5:00. And the reason, or he could never, my dad lived out of town. My dad couldn't spend the night at my house because my dad needed to drink. Because I will tell you that if you don't know this, is alcohol can kill you if you just cold turkey come off of it. You have to go to rehab and you have to wean yourself off of it because you will have a seizure and die. Alcoholism is, I've learned this, trust me. But if a alcoholic and a meth head, I'm sorry, I said meth head. That was very judgmental. I don't know how to say it. Someone that's addicted to meth or someone that's addicted to heroin and an alcoholic, all three went into the ER. And all three of them says, my son's an alcoholic, my son's a heroin addict, and my son is on meth. You would think the alcoholic would be the least problem, right? You think they would admit the heroin addict and the meth addict before they would admit the alcoholic. But that's actually the complete opposite. The alcoholic will get a bed before the meth and the heroin addict because it is more dangerous to come off alcohol than it is meth and heroin. Know that. I learned it. And if that's something that you struggle with, you have to get help. If you have an eating disorder, and a lot of people, when I have sober living facilities come here, that is one thing that I can talk about too, because usually when I have I've had one adult group and I've had one teenage group, and I'm able to talk to them because if you don't know this, if you are a teenager and you're watching me and you have addiction, I want you to know that it doesn't get easier, because what happens is when you're young, there's a lot of free services out there to help you get off drugs. There's Teen Challenge, which will let you work, and that's not curled. It'll let you work and be able to get help. When you're an adult and you have a house payment and you have children, it's hard to stop your life and go get rehab because you're like, I can't. I've got children. Who's going to take care of my kids? Or I can't because I have a house payment. And when you're a teenager, you're not faced with all those things. So you can literally stop your life and get out of school and go to rehab. And like I said, there's a lot of free services out there for kids, but it's not the same for adults. So just know that it doesn't get easier. You can't do it yourself. I can't get over my eating disorder myself. If I could, would have already done it a while ago, right? Look how curly my hair is from that curling iron. Wow. Okay. You can't do it yourself. And if you trick yourself into thinking that you can come off it yourself or get better yourself, you're lying to yourself. I have a drinking problem myself. It just went all over my face. I encourage you to get help. And if you are an adult and you have kids and you're trying to figure out how to do it, Oh, this is just the cutest curling iron ever. There are services. I don't know. If you need help, I'll help figure it out. I'll help find you help. I don't know. I don't know all the resources in the other states. I know a lot of resources here in Alabama um, that allow you to live at their facility and work and get help. There's some really good sober living facilities here in Alabama, but I don't know statewide. But I know enough people to try to help you get to where you need. So if you need help, you message your Aunt Judy, and we'll work together to find you help. Um, with the little girl that's an orphan, and I do not call names, and I don't say where they're from. They're not. I'll just tell you this: the girl is not from Alabama. Let's just put it this way. But I never would want to embarrass anyone. But what an honor it is, but also what a amount of pressure it is to know. I mean, what do I say? I don't know how she feels. I mean, I know how I feel about other situations, but I don't know. And I will say, as an adult, I lost both my parents. The man that lives with me is my stepdad that's having surgery. My real dad passed away in his early 60s, and so did my mother. So I do feel like an orphan in a way. It's not the same. And her parents are not, they've not passed away. They're still alive. But for the longest time, I did. Sometimes, I told you I struggle at Christmas, and it's because I don't have my family. I don't have my mom. I don't have my grandmother. Like, all of them have passed away. And my mom passed away in 2009, and my dad passed away in 2012. So, and you that have lost your parents, you might feel like an orphan when it comes to the holidays, because when you were young, there were ways that you did holidays, like you went to your grandparents and you ate breakfast or whatever you did. You had your little routine of what you did for the holidays. And when your family started passing away, and grandmother died and mom and dad died, you're like, what are we supposed to do? Like we always went to grandma's house for Christmas, and you feel abandoned. So, like, where you might know what this little girl feels like, feeling abandoned, because I do feel abandoned. I went through this whole grieving process when my parents passed away. First it was I was upset, and then I went to anger, because I feel like, and this is just personally, but I felt like their death could have been controlled. My mother was very unhealthy. My mother had diabetes. My mother had high cholesterol, high blood pressure. She had a blood disorder. And she didn't eat right. My mom was overweight. My mom wouldn't exercise. My mom she would often quit taking her medicine, like her insulin, because she would feel like it wasn't working. So she just quit taking it. She wouldn't tell nobody. She just say, my insulin doesn't work. I don't feel good. I'm just going to quit taking this crap, because she didn't want to pay for it. And see, my dad smoked and drank his whole life. And like I said, he had addiction issues when I was younger. And I'm like, well, that was stupid. Like, that's why I have zero tolerance when it comes to cigarettes. But of course I do, because I don't struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? If I was like him and had that addiction, I might understand it. But I don't, so it seems stupid to me Like, why would you want to end your life in the 60s and have lung cancer and be in pain the last couple of months of your life and will wither away to nothing for smoking a cigarette? That sounds so stupid to me. But again, I don't struggle. So it seems easy to me. If my dad was alive right now, he would look at me and go, why do you struggle with the way you look, Judy? Why are you worried about being skinny? You're 52, Judy. Why are you worried about, like, it's only going downhill from here? Why? Just eat in moderation, Judy. It seems really easy to him, right? Because he don't struggle with an eating disorder. Just as if with me, it seems so easy. Just stop smoking. Just stop. Judy, just stop eating crazy. Quit starving yourself and quit overeating. Just eat in normal moderation. Dad doesn't understand. So be kind to other people with their struggles, because what seems so stupid to you with their struggles is real to them. Someone that struggles, whatever it is they struggle with, mental health, it seems easy going, just stop. Stop being depressed. It's stupid. Why? What are you depressed for? You have no reason to be depressed. Like, why? I mean, why? Why? That doesn't even make sense. You're depressed. Why? That doesn't make sense. Okay, you're depressed because you have no money. Well, just start saving. Don't you love it when people do that? And you're like, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't. You know what? They're not going to get it because they don't struggle with the same things that you struggle with. But on the flip side, see how my eyelashes, it looks like I already have makeup on, and I don't. So I kind of like that. I just don't know if I would spend $30 every 2 weeks to have them filled in. I'm not sure if I would do that or not. That's not that important to me. But anyway, I hope that I'm saying, hang on, I gotta put my, I hope I'm saying something that hits home with you. And I tell you that because at the end, when I tell you that you have two choices in life, sitting it out is continuing to be in the addiction or whatever you're struggling with, is continuing to be the way you've been your whole entire life. I could sit here easily and go, I'm just on the struggle bus. I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to be miserable the rest of my life because I cannot fight this eating disorder. I cannot fight these demons that are in my head. Like, what? Okay, I've been to rehab. I've been on dialysis. Like, you would think being on dialysis would be enough to hit rock bottom and go, okay, Judy, get over this. But see, when there's something that you struggle with, it follows you the rest of your life. Like, this is something I'm going to deal with the rest of my life. It's not like I automatically go, oh, I've been on dialysis, I'm healed, and everything is great, and Jesus Christ healed me, and I'm just great, and I never struggle again. That is malarkey. Is malarkey a word? Hang on. God gives you a brain, right? To me, recovery is not being set free from it for the rest of your life. It's not like, like I said, I admit that I have a problem. I get on dialysis, I almost die. Like, I was almost dead. And I go to rehab and bam, I'm better. Like, rehab set me free. I hit rock bottom and suddenly I am like flying in the wind and Jesus Christ saved my life. Okay. Let me tell you how I feel like I've been saved. It's because I don't get stuck in it for the rest of my life. If I was like I used to be, I would be in the process of starving myself right now. And where I've been set free is because I'm able to recognize that I have a problem, but I don't always have the strength to get back on track to fix it. And where I have healing is to go, okay, I'm recognizing that I'm on the struggle bus. I have let myself go to a really bad place in my life, and I've got to do what it takes to get back on track. That's where I feel like Jesus Christ has healed me, is because I'm not where I used to be. And although it is a daily walk for me, God gives me a brain. I don't believe in this. Hang on. And you don't have to agree with me, okay? But I don't personally believe that God comes down and touches me and then suddenly I am healed and never struggle again. I've not personally seen it in my life. I feel like God goes, Judy, we're in this together. I'll do my part if you do your part. Like, that's what I feel. I feel like, and He does give me the strength to recognize my problem, but it's up to me to make the step to get help and to recognize that, okay, I'm not in a good place right now. This is not good. Like, what do I need to do to fix it? And I do believe that He gives me the strength and puts that. And again, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. I'm just telling you what I believe. But I believe that God, um, the Holy Spirit, convicts me of my wrongdoing, is what I feel. And I feel like it's up to me to recognize what's happening and fix the problem. Now, is it like I'm going to call my psychiatrist and immediately I'm back on the right track of my eating disorder? Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Um, every time I get like this, it's like I tell other people that struggle, I'm like, okay, if you tried this and it didn't work, this time you need to get up a different way. If you've fallen down and that situation did not work, you've got to figure out what's going to get you up. And at this point, I'm such on the struggle bus that I don't know what's going to take to get me up. I don't know. I don't know if it's surrounding myself with people that point me in the right direction. I don't know if it's maybe I need to go to counseling 3 days a week for a while to figure out what happened, like what went wrong. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of it is because I've been going 90 to nothing and I haven't been planned. Because when I'm not planned, I get all out of whack. Because it's like I'm concentrating on one thing. I'm concentrating on one thing, and then I find myself with the things that I'm not concentrating on, it just gets all out of whack. So, see, I really don't even need, to me, I don't even need any eyeshadow with these lashes. I'm looking fancy. But sometimes you have to go, when you find yourself beating yourself up, you have to do something extra special for yourself that maybe you wouldn't normally do. Like maybe you need to go get lashes. Maybe you need to go to the gun range and go, okay, I just need to get my frustrations out. So I'm going to go shoot some targets. I don't know. Is that what you do? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what a man would do. Sometimes you just need to get away and go, I need to check out for just a second. I need to just check out for just a second and get myself straight. And that's okay. And it sounds like you're being selfish, but it's not. It's like what you have to do. And this lady corrected me today on YouTube. I don't know what, she watched some video where I said the order of importance is God, your spouse, your family, your work. And she's like, no, Judy, you're wrong. It's God, you, and your spouse. And I was like, she's right, because what we're taught as kids is don't be selfish. Don't just think about yourself. That's what we're taught. And so when you come into adulthood and you find yourself like going to get lashes, well, I sure am being selfish. I just spent $30 on myself when I could have put it into the grocery budget, but instead I went and just blew it on myself. But I felt like that was something that I needed to do. I needed to, and you know what? It wasn't even about lashes. This is what happened. I can't believe this. It took 2.5 hours to put these lashes on. That seems silly to me. But you know how wonderful it was to sit and lay flat and close my eyes and let someone just pamper me? Like, that's what I needed. I needed to slow down, lay flat, close my eyes for 2.5 hours, and just let someone pamper me. That's what I needed. It had nothing to do with lashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, when you go to, like, it's like for a man going to a gun range and getting your mind off the crap that happens in our life. Sometimes you just need to get away, go hunt, or whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Sometimes you just see, I don't have to put on mascara. How awesome is that? I'm done. See? But you just need to take care of yourself. Be selfish for a little while. What time is it? It's 5:08. The chickens are going to be mad at us if we don't go let them out, and the goats. And I like this weather because I can wear my hair down and I'm not burning up. So I got some kids to go talk to. And what I'll be talking to them about today is trying something new. Because I talked to kids about, I tried something new and Sneeze Farmhouse happened, and I try to encourage kids to branch out and not just keep a narrow mind, like learn all kinds of things, because you don't know what you're good at. Like, I never thought I would be good at a farm. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that I could try. Did y'all see my video with me training Dexter to turn around to get brushed? I mean, who would have thought that I could do that? But I taught Dexter, okay, get brushed. All right, turn around, go to the other side so I get the other side. I taught a 1,500-pound bull to turn around and let me brush him the other way. I feel successful when those things happen. So I begin to talk to kids about trying something new and branching out, because you never know what you're good at. I thought I would be good at dancing and being on stage, and that's one thing I was going to talk to you about too. I'll make it quick. But isn't it funny how I have been in front of 500 people reading my book, dancing, doing my little skit, and I feel no anxiety at all. But you get me into a little bitty wedding and I lose because anxiety comes over me. I feel like I don't know what to talk about. I feel like the room is staring at me. I feel dumb. But you get me in a little bitty setting like that, and I can't handle it. But I can handle being on stage in front of thousands of people. Isn't that weird? Like, I find that very odd that I can do that. But I do not feel any pressure at all being on stage, dancing, talking to kids, talking to adults about discrimination. I have no anxiety at all doing that. Being in front of thousands of people or hundreds of people, it's no pressure at me. I don't even think about it. I don't lose sleep at night over it. I get excited about it. Like, I love being on stage, trying to make a difference in people's life. Right here on live, I don't know how many people are watching. 115 people. And then when I post this, there'll be at least 1,500 people on YouTube alone that watch this video. That doesn't include Facebook. So let's just say a couple of thousand people are going to watch this video, and it gives me no anxiety and no pressure. But if I go to a small wedding, I can't handle it. Or if I go to church, people go, "Where do you go to church?" I'm like, "Really? I can't go to church. I have anxiety through the roof going to church." I don't know. I I am a very religious person, but I will sit and worry about it all night long where I can't get up in the morning and go. Makes absolutely no sense. But I'm glad that I was here this morning with you guys. Um, on Wednesday, I said that I was going to have to cancel because my dad's surgery is Wednesday, but I wasn't thinking right because we go live at 7 o'clock in the morning, and my dad doesn't have to be in Birmingham until 11. Well, actually 10:30. So we won't have to leave here till roughly around 9 o'clock. So I am going to be able to go live on Wednesday. So don't check that off. Get up. Get up. Set your alarm clock. You got kids to take to school. We got things to do around here. That's what Shane says. Get up. We got things to do. We ain't sitting in the bed all day. And see, that helps me. Like, that seems really rude and mean, but it helps me. I'm like, oh, God, he's making me get up. But it helps me. It keeps me in a routine. And Shane balances me. All right, guys. I love you guys. Diane, you're right. Okay, I'm going to go back and read your messages. I hope that I said something. Karen Sneed. My name's not Karen Sneed, but that's okay. Sometimes I do get called a Karen, though. Just to let you know. I'm reading your messages real quick. Rhonda, I'm so glad that I can help. If you need me, you let me know. Looks like we got some spammers on here. Diane, I thought you'd like my lashes. Go pamper yourself, Laura. I love you guys. Yeah, Carolyn, I was forced to stop myself and reset. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe Wednesday I'll be better. I don't know. I may still be on the wrong bus, but I know that I'm on the wrong bus. So I know that I have to do something to get me on the right bus. Tammy, I know you love hunting. Buffy, I love you. Focus on the facts. God, we got spammers on here. I'm so sorry. Judy, you look sexy. I just love you, Becky. Becky, you're one of my biggest fans, I feel like. And Dale, love you. Sometimes I can't go back and read the messages. That's why I do it. Baby steps. Yes, Kayla is baby steps. Thank you, Christy. Wow, Tony. Cold turkey, quit smoking. I hear that's the hardest thing to overcome is smoking. So if you can overcome smoking, you can overcome anything. It's just you got to set your mind to it. I don't know what you struggle with, but whatever you maybe you don't struggle at all. But if you struggle, you can overcome anything from what I'm told if you can stop smoking. That's what my dad told me. So that's why I say that. Adventures of me and with me. I don't know what this, let's see what I understand about your mom. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for being here. You know, you see, I'm sitting here reading all these messages about how I'm helping y'all. No, 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 no. I mean, maybe I am helping y'all, but you help me. Just being here listening. Sometimes we just need to talk, right? Sometimes we just need to vent and get it out. And you guys help me, because what happens is, because I tell you guys you have two choices. And I'm like, if I don't dance, they're going to look at me and go, why ain't you dancing? You're the one telling us to dance and you ain't dancing. Like, you help me. I feel like you guys have become my best friends. I know right now, and I say this a lot, I can message any one of you that are on my live right now and go, help me. I need help. Will you just let me call you? And I know any one of y'all right now would, oh, this is my dad's doctor. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry. Hello? That's my dad. Yes, we will be there. Okay. Thank you. They were verifying his surgery. Sorry, I had to answer. But I know without a shadow of a doubt that I could message any one of y'all and say, will you just be my friend and just listen to what I have to say? And I know every one of you would do that. Just as if you messaged me and said, Judy, I need you. I would do the same thing. And it's hard to understand a friendship through social media for people that don't have it. But when there's a connection, there's a connection. And I feel like social media, we build a following, and what it is we build best friends. We're here for each other. And I love social media. A lot of people think social media is negative, and it can be, but it's also such a blessing because I'm meeting people from all over the country in the US, and we're becoming best friends, although we've never seen each other. And I think it's such a beautiful story, and it's a beautiful friendship. And I thank you, because you could be doing anything right now other than listening to your Aunt Judy at 8:15 in the morning with our chickens mad at us for not going out there at 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for being here. And just know that um, I've been getting a lot of fan mail, and I thank you. It's fun getting mail, because when you first started getting mail, you're like, wait a minute. They thought of me. They went and thought of me. And I told you my love language is that's how I receive love. So it's so special to me. But I don't want you to feel like that's what you have to do to show me love. Just watching my videos and commenting shows me love. I want you to comment, not just because that's how we get more views on our videos. Y'all, I don't even care about that. I care about, I want to know you. And the only way for me to get to know you and know your name is through commenting. Because then I start recognizing your name and I'm like, oh, yeah, they're from wherever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, and then if I ever get to meet you in person, then all you have to do is tell me your name. I'm like, oh my God, yes, you said da, da, da. And I recognize it. So commenting is important to me, because that's how we build a friendship. This friendship cannot be one-sided. You cannot know everything about me without me knowing who you are. It's not fair, right? So I don't want this friendship to be one-sided. So please comment and tell me who you are. I love you guys. And it is Monday, and we can stay on the struggle bus because we have two choices in life. You can sit it out or you can dance. And today, on this Monday morning, I hope you dance. I love you, and I will see you Wednesday morning. Bye.